According to data, women believe that 80% of men are under average.
We got here because we're not honest with women. Describe. Let's talk about it.
According to data, women believe that 80% of men are under average. This is a statistical impossibility.
But we all know that stats don't really matter when we have some of these conversations with women. You believe this because you simply were told, you were advertised to. You use this to make yourself feel better about the challenges in life. You see the same thing when you see women talking about if a woman pays her own bills, she has a house, an apartment, or car. If she does things that are just typically an adult, then she's a baddie. Then she's a bad bitch. Then she's doing incredibly well for herself. All we're doing is reducing the level of adulting, reducing the level of what is normal in order then to see them where people are now normal. You now think they're somehow better. You give them props for just simply existing in life. We never even give a closer look to say, how well are you existing? We don't look at that and say, well, a lot of you are bums. By the same metric and same rubric we use to look at men, a lot of you are bums. You're not doing substantially better, but you make it feel like you're doing substantially better. Then you look at men and say that the average woman is better than the best of men. It's because you're keeping your thumb on the scales. In order to make you feel better, you have to now make the average incredible. You have to make the average be this thing that no other person can actually do. Sure, you have data here that supports things like that when you say, well, we have more degrees. Well, yeah, you're more enrolled in school, you have more degrees, but how does that translate into actual success? So all of this helps you look at men and say, you're not doing enough, you're not evolving, you're not changing. You look at it from this feminine lens that uplifts every one of you women, but then it says, men, why are you not doing the most? Why are you not doing what we're doing? When the standard is a feminine one and one that's not really based in reality, like you believing 80% of men are subpar, how are we supposed to move forward in a coupling way, in a way where relationship flourish, in a way where you can actually get married, in a way that you can actually have a harmonious relationship with a man? Listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss new episodes, new drops. Subscriber Sunday, we just had one yesterday. Great turnout. We had some fun. Besides that, hype the video, share the video. We got merch in the store. And listen, we're on our quest to 5,000 subscribers. We cannot get there without you. So if you get any type of value from these videos, from the posts, from the talks, from the lives, subscribe. Now, look, we know that, and men, this isn't a surprise. This is one of these things that a study was not really necessary to tell us what we already knew. 80% of us, you say, are unsuitable. So now you focus on the 20%. But even if, let's go with that. Right? We like to lean into these things a little bit. If you say that 20% is above average, then you also can acknowledge that those men would be the prize. There's such a small infinitesimal amount of men that you would consider valuable, mate-worthy, husband-worthy. They have to be the prize. The issue here, and it's fine, we have no problem with you believing what you believe. We just say you have to accept the consequences of that. Those 20%, if they're now picking from, well, 80% of you or maybe 90% of you, why are they not picking you? They're going for the best. They're going for what they want. They're going for the flavor of the month. And you're not going to find yourself anywhere near that. Now, we understand a lot of this is an online conversation, because if you go outside in the wide world, you see average people together all the time. Here in America, you see average looking people together, holding hands, happy, blissful, just going about their business, going Walmart, going shopping, walking dog. Average looking people. He's not terribly attractive. He's not terribly tall. She's not terribly attractive. It makes sense. The issue here is our focus becomes on the absolute elite, or the vision of this. Social media came in and put too many lives in front of you. It clouded your vision now. Now you think that this is the standard. And it doesn't matter if you haven't done anything with your life, if you haven't accomplished anything, you haven't built anything, you haven't done anything that would make a man impressed by you. You just say, this is the standard. They tricked you and told you this is what you should want. And you believe them because you don't challenge these things. Because you're lazy. Because we're lazy as society, and they say, what am I supposed to like? And you like it. As long as enough people around you are in line with that, you'll follow. And your mom used to say, if all your friends jumped off the bridge, would you? Yeah, jump. That's what we do today. The crowd has to be wise. The crowd has to understand this. So when I open up my app and I see all these women complaining that men need to do this, men need to do this, men fail to do this, you know what the problem with men? Yeah, you simply internalize that. You've got no experience with men. You're a young girl. You're young, early college. You've got limited experience with men, but you already have such strong opinions of them. You have such strong opinions because you've been hurt, and that's all you needed to verify that the rest of these men are worthless. They're useless. They shouldn't be around, or life would be better without them. You believe it because challenging that notion, 1, requires courage. 2, requires you risking being excommunicated from your group. So instead, you believe the nonsense. Regardless of what you look like, your station, your femininity, what those men want, what those 20% men say they want, what this is going to leave you, a lot of you alone and just with bodies. We're not saying that's a bad thing. That could be absolutely what you want. There's a fantastic lane for that exists with this online sort of talk, this online sort of misandry. But some of the biggest purveyors of it, especially the women, they're coupled up. They're engaged. They're having children. They're leading you down a path because it's one of the easiest ways to hold your attention. You'll look at something that's negative, yet something that's uplifting to you at the same time. It's part of the human condition. That's why we like to watch these slip and fall videos. We like to see when people end up getting their just desserts. We like to see people knock down a peg. It feels good for us. We feel good. They look bad. It creates more of this gap. Same thing they do when they tell you these men ain't ish because you're doing the same things they're doing. When you look at men, and the easy one to say, you shouldn't date if you're broke, but you're broke. You're broke, right? But we couch it in a double standard. We make it seem like, no, it's fine. He's supposed to do these things and you're supposed to do other things. Or even the same things. And if he does it to the same degree you do it, he is now no longer worthy of being with you. He has to do things to this such high degree. And even then, if he only matches it, he's part of that 80% that you find, deplorable. At the end of the day, when you play this out on the long enough timeline, what is it going to actually leave the majority of women? If you can only look at 20% of those men, and of that 20%, how many of them are actually willing to be with one woman, build a family with them? Your dating options have just gone catastrophically tits up. What are you supposed to do when you are non-competitive women? And let's be real, many of you are non-competitive. You refuse to compete, for 1. 2, you don't have what the best of the best as determined by those men, what they say they're looking for, what they say is important to them. You don't have that. Where does that leave you realistic? What can you hope to accomplish by thinking you are better than the majority of the men out there? You're going to miss the person that's probably best matched for you. A lot of this realization hits when you're in your 40s, in your 50s, when the optionality starts dissipating, when even those men that were worthy, the men that had money, that were doing well, when they even stop hitting you up just for a fun time. That's when you have to start and make decisions. That's when you have to summon this bravery and realize the life I've been living, I never made the decisions on my own. Someone told me I should feel like this, and I believed them, and I ran with it. And I said, yes, thank you for thinking for me. Now you realize it led you down a path and you don't recognize where you are. But if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on the screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those and those videos. And of course, if you're listening to my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. You're just trying to build something dope. See you in the next one.